Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Once more, here's Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down. The Chargers had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Hopkins' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game.
Just taking it right down Broadway. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Khalil Mack, he's the one. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. From the gun, it's Wilson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now it's Wilson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Charger drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Herbert now. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to
to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner, and that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that third down snap.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 14, Here's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson sets up the screen to Gordon. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will stay a 4-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Herbert on 1st down now. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The kick by McManus is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long, and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. The Charger drive about to get going.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that. Was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Let's go double down right here. Double down.
On first down, Wilson looking middle, and that's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On second and 12, Wilson. And that's checked down to Gordon. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Throwing is Wilson. And that would be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Eckler now between the tackles. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. It's Eckler again. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Herbert. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And some space here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That good for 22 and a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Again, it's Williams. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by McManus is good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, Never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Just shy of the 35.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and tell him to go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, Gordon once more. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 28.
And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Let's go double down right here. Double down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
The kick by McManus is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where
he's got a man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Herbert.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Throwing, Herbert. Quick throw, knocked away.
Intended for Deshaun Jackson, incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Herbert gonna throw.
And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 23.
And the Chargers, first down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Now Herbert. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. One last throw here for Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 25. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Denver, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down.
You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Cube bone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years